100 student athletes, 29 teams, one pride, wearing the blue and white, all for the glory of Old State. This is your weekly roar on GoPSUSports.com.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of For the Glory. I'm Gia Motel here at the Penn State All Sports Museum at Beaver Stadium. In conjunction with the largest private gift in the history of the Pennsylvania State University to fund a state-of-the-art multi-purpose arena, Penn State will establish NCAA Division I men's and women's ice hockey programs. The teams are slated to begin competition in the 2012 and 2013 season. It will include 2 ice sheets and other features that will allow it to be used for a broad range of campus and community activities. Check GoPSUSports.com's new ice hockey pages for reactions from many prominent figures in hockey, such as NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman, ESPN hockey analyst Barry Melrose, and many more. Penn State football hosted Kent State this past Saturday on a gorgeous afternoon at Beaver Stadium. The Nittany Lions got off to a fast start. On the opening possession of the game, junior cornerback Danton Lynn grabbed his first career interception. Penn State scored quickly with a Rob Bolden 1-yard touchdown run, the first of his career, giving Penn State a 7-0 lead just under 5 minutes into the contest. The Nittany Lions ran for a total of 162 yards against the nation's #1 ranked rushing defense. Senior tailback Evan Royster became the 6th Nittany Lion to rush for 3,000 yards in his career with a 15-yard run in the first quarter. True freshman quarterback Rob Bolden threw for 1 touchdown and ran for another. Bolden became the first Penn State true freshman quarterback with multiple 200-yard passing games in the program's 124-year history. He was 17 for 27 for 217 yards, earning his second 200-yard passing game of the season. Penn State delivered its 41st shutout under head coach Joe Paterno and won its 500th game since the Hall of Fame coach joined the staff as the Nittany Lions blanked Kent State 24-0. Up next, Penn State will host intrastate rival Temple. Kickoff is set for 3:30 this Saturday at Beaver Stadium and will be televised by the Big Ten Network. Limited tickets still remain for the Clash with the Owls and can be purchased at GoPSUSports.com/tickets or by calling 814-865-5555, weekdays from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And make sure after every home game to check out post-game interviews from the Nittany Lions locker room exclusively on GoPSUSports.com's All Access. Penn State field hockey went 3 for 3 in the win column this past week by defeating Lafayette Wednesday night at home and with road wins against Temple and Westchester. Let's catch up with Gabby Shirley, who covered the win on Wednesday night.
As the sun went down here at the Penn State Field Hockey Complex, the game was heating up. The Nittany Lions shut out the Lafayette Leopards tonight, 3-0. After losing to Lafayette in overtime last season, the Nittany Lions came out looking for revenge. The first goal of the game was scored by sophomore forward Kelsey Amy. It was assisted by number 12, Brittany Griswold. 2 more goals were scored in the second half by Jessica Longstreth and Kelsey Amy. Now, you had 2 goals tonight. Congratulations on that. How do you feel?
It feels great. Scoring's always fun. So, and Jess and I were working well together tonight. We were definitely clicking. So, attribute a few of my goals to her. So, it was a nice combination.
With a 4-0 dominating effort over Temple on Saturday, Penn State field hockey head coach Charlene Moret earned a huge milestone, claiming her 400th win in collegiate field hockey. The Nittany Lions return home on Friday to kick off their Big Ten season against Indiana at the Penn State Field Hockey Complex. Admission is free and start time is set for 6 p.m. You can follow the field hockey team on Twitter at Penn State FH. Penn State women's volleyball returned home to Rec Hall on Friday to host the Rockville Outlets Classic. Penn State, George Washington, Princeton, and St. John's made up the 4-team field. The Nittany Lions went undefeated this weekend, winning 9 straight sets, improving their record to 10-1 this season. Deja McLennan earned Big Ten Freshman of the Week honors. I caught up with the team Saturday night about their victorious weekend in the Classic.
Of course, it's always nice to play at home and be in front of a big crowd and just have them supporting you at every time during the game. It's awesome, and we're looking forward to playing home a lot more this year.
Penn State starts their Big Ten season this weekend, traveling on Friday to face the Fighting Illini and then travel to Wisconsin for a Sunday afternoon matchup against the Badgers. Keep track of scores and stats of every away game on Game Tracker, exclusively on GoPSUSports.com. The Penn State's women's soccer team fell to Dartmouth on Sunday 1-0. Despite holding a shot advantage, Penn State could not find the back of the net on a sunny afternoon at Jeffrey Field. Liz Olatunji has more on Penn State's efforts.
I'm Liz Olatunji for GoPSUSports.com. The Penn State women's soccer team fell, unfortunately, this afternoon 0-1 to Dartmouth. First half, we saw 7 shots, 2 saves, and 2 corner kicks. The second half followed with 21 shots, 6 corner kicks, and a save. The women hope to move forward with their Big Ten Conference opener next week on Sunday. They face Michigan State with a 1 o'clock kickoff here at Jeffrey Field. For GoPSUSports.com, I'm Liz Olatunji.
The Nittany Lions open their Big Ten season on Sunday when they host Michigan State at 1 p.m. at Jeffrey Field. Admission to the game is free, and the game will air live on BigTenNetwork.com. You can check the rest of Penn State's schedule on GoPSUSports.com and can also follow them on Twitter at PSU Women's Soccer. The Penn State men's soccer team traveled to the Rocky Mountains for a weekend matchup against Air Force and Denver. The number 23 men's soccer team defeated Air Force 2-0. The Nittany Lions concluded their Colorado road trip on Sunday with a 4-0 shutout against the Denver Pioneers. With the victory, the Nittany Lions are 4-0 away from home this season, equaling its road win total the 4 previous years combined. Junior forward Corey Herzog scored his Big Ten leading 7th goal of the season early in the game and added an assist later on, upping his conference best point total to 17. Senior midfielder Mateus Braga earned his NCAA leading 8th assist on Herzog's goal and followed it up by netting his first goal of the season. Sophomore forward Rafael Faria and junior midfielder Mackenzie Armand also tallied goals. Redshirt junior goalkeeper Warren Gross anchored a strong defensive effort, registering a season-high 5 saves en route to his 4th shutout of the season. The Nittany Lions return home on Friday when they open Big Ten Conference play by hosting arch-rival Indiana at 7:30 at Jeffrey Field. Admission to the game is free and will also be streamed on BigTenNetwork.com. Some other Penn State sports in action this past weekend. The Penn State men's golf team brought home their first title of the fall season Sunday, taking home the 3rd annual Maryland Intercollegiate. The team excelled on the course this weekend with highlights that include a first-place individual finish for freshman Michael Miller and a hole-in-one during the 3rd round of play by senior TJ Howe. The women's golf team will take the course for the 2nd time this season as they head to the Cincinnati Classic, hosted by the University of Cincinnati. When we return, we'll be joined by GoPSUSports.com media specialist Tony Mancuso and what's happening on the Nittany Lions All Sports blog. Check out this week's exclusive Penn State sports auctions with prizes ranging from a press box experience to Saturday's football game, a Lenny Moore autographed game-worn jersey, or a game-used Penn State football from this past Saturday's game versus Kent State. GoPSUSports.com auctions offer the best game experiences and memorabilia for any fan who bleeds blue and white. We are now joined by Tony Mancuso for GoPSUSports.com. Thanks for joining us, Tony.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Tony, tell us about your weekend covering the win at the Penn State football game for the All Sports blog.
Sure, it was a good win for the Nittany Lions. Obviously, anytime you get a shutout, it's a positive thing. I focused on Stephon Morris and Stephon Green in a feature story after the game. Both those players had a superb outing, and it's nice to be 2-1 heading into Temple this week.
We saw your photo blog with the players stepping off the blue buses and all that other fun stuff. Do you plan to, where you're going to be at the game, or do you just jump around to every place?
I try to jump around and get as many shots as I can from as many different places as I can. I've done that the first 3 games. It's a fun aspect of the blog. I feel like I'm showing people a lot of things they might not normally be able to see, specifically down in Alabama. It was a lot of fun to do, and I'm going to continue to do it every week so you can look for more interesting shots. But the blue buses themselves, that's a fun portion of game day.
But what's coming up next for this week?
Well, this week I'm working on a piece about the Penn State secondary right now. Have plans to talk to Brett Brackett and Nick Suke for some video scouting reports. Additionally, going to have a little bit of a special treat this week. I'm talking to one of ESPN's personalities who's coming to town on Thursday for the Sports Nation broadcasts here outside Bryce Jordan Center. So be sure to stay tuned for that. And as always, we have plenty of coverage from all the sports teams that are competing right now with the staff of writers that are covering women's volleyball and women's soccer, men's soccer, and field hockey. So we're looking forward to that as well.
Sweet, thank you. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you here again soon.
Perfect, thank you.
Penn State fans, you can be connected with us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, online not only through GoPSUSports.com, but also through many social media networks such as Facebook and Twitter. Connect with us on Facebook by becoming a fan on Facebook.com/Penn State Nittany Lions. And for you Tweeple, check out our Twitter section on GoPSUSports.com, listing all our staff and coaches who you can follow. Send For the Glory a tweet at GoPSUSports1 with #ForTheGlory and tell us what special features you would like to see on our show. That's all for our show today, but tune in next week and we'll recap all of the Penn State sports teams in action. I'm Gia Motel, and this is For the Glory.